Hello, my name is Benjamin Shull, and welcome to my presentation on the Killaloe Green Burial Site that I've called Resting in Nature. For some background, Killaloe, Ontario is a small town part of the township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards that is located in eastern Ontario in the Ottawa Valley in Renfrew County. As we can see here, given the close proximity to the Algonquin Provincial Park and Bon Provincial Park, mixed with the breathtaking views on Golden Lake, Killaloe is the ultimate destination for all outdoor lovers. With attractions for anglers and ice fishers, hikers, nature lovers, snowmobilers, and everything else in between, Killaloe serves as a large tourist spot all year round. Killaloe has always been a logging and timber industry reliant town even to this day. While the logging boom is over and most of the jobs relied on back in the day have been wiped out, Killaloe is still an upstanding town that relies on culture and tradition. With the Back to the Land movement in the 1980s, a green burial fits perfectly within the culture and values of locals and presents a source of income for the township and residents. Home of the Beaver Tails, the historic flour mill from the 1870s, the scenic covered bridge on Brennan's Creek, and some of the most breathtaking views in Ontario, this is the perfect setting for a green burial site. To be buried fully immersed in this wonderful landscape is a rite of passage, a true entrance into the afterlife that is bound to become a popular resting place in the years to come. A green burial is an environmentally friendly, cheaper form of burial that does not involve concrete or chemicals. Bodies are commonly placed in biodegradable caskets or wraps, and graves are typically marked with a tree or plant or even a rock. Green burials are a growing trend as burial grounds are becoming full and more expensive, while this offers a much better experience for families and for loved ones. Our site is located at the two plots of land directly to the east of 399 Wildlife Road. It is just 2 kilometers west of Killaloe and only a 3-minute drive from town. The site consists of 2 plots of land that are side by side and are approximately 1 acre in size each for 2 acres total. The soil condition of the site is dry and sandy and well-drained soil with lots of native trees and plants existing already. The plot of land closest to the house is a blank slate with a good amount of bush in the back and along the property lines. The other plot is to the left of the previous lot and is owned by the Anglican Church. This plot is much more wild. It has not been maintained with vast amounts of bush. There are 2 existing headstones on site that will represent the graves of 5 people. My conceptual thoughts include a simple pathway system that meets accessibility requirements with lots of native plantings. I feel that a covered structure would make for a great welcoming place and can be used to provide information on green burials of Killaloe. Also, a large mourning, reflection, and seating area is absolutely necessary. Lots of benches throughout the pathways are key, with a focal chainsaw carving done by a local could really give context to these grounds. These were some AI images created using the diffusion software from SketchUp, showing some different ideas of what my initial conceptual thoughts would look like in different variations. These are just some inspirational ideas and ideations that show the theme and style that I am looking to achieve with my green burial design. Here we have our rendered master plan outlining the important details that I am proposing. Lots of benches scattered thoroughly, a fitting parking area, simple post and rail fence, a covered structure, headstones, and even natural stones placed accordingly. There are lots of proposed elements, however they all work together to bring you an exceptional and realistic design for this space. For this site, I proposed 1 main native plant for each of the 5 burial gardens for a total of 5 main plants. As well, we have our proposed deer-resistant part-shade seed mix that will initially cover the vast majority of this site. Some trees were proposed as well, such as white spruce, paper birch, and balsam poplar. This is the proposed plot plan with a total of 942 plots being able to comfortably fit. Each plot is 4 feet by 8 feet. More plots could have been added if desired, however I feel that this is a strong number and these plots are spread out and organized in a suitable fashion. This is my proposed trail section. It shows how the 6-foot wide pathway fits in with the proposed landscape. The pathway is constructed using 1/4 inch minus crushed gravel that is applied at 3-inch thickness, making this pathway wheelchair accessible. We can also see the proposed and existing trees along with the native wildflower seed mix. An aerial view of the site, showing the 5 different burial grounds along with the cremation burial ground. We can clearly see the large butterfly chainsaw carving in the memorial area, as well as each proposed native plant that represents each of the 5 different burial grounds. This view shows how some areas are very open and how some are covered with foliage, giving users a full pathway experience. Located underneath the overhead wooden structure, users have optimal seating to reflect and grieve near the parking area. A great meeting point and foundational structure is also near one of the existing headstones on this site, beside the first burial site headstone. This is the cremation burial garden. With all the 5 native plants used in the 5 burial grounds, this area brings the entire site together. With 4 benches and a large headstone centering the space, it is tucked nicely away in the existing foliage for optimal privacy, with a glimmer of light shining in wonderfully. This view is captured at the Memorial Circle Garden. With the focal chainsaw carving that can be seen from almost anywhere on the site, it serves as a great meeting and reflection point. All the paths are wheelchair accessible, with plenty of seating to accommodate for all users. The chainsaw carving is to be a butterfly perched on a stump as shown, the symbol of rebirth. This is the site after all the plots have been used and trees have been planted in place of each plot. Our site will serve as a beautiful walking trail once it serves its purpose as a burial ground, giving the site meaning even after its initial use. The site will be very dense and will be more like a forest walking trail once all the trees are established and begin to mature. This will be very easy to maintain as well. We can see here the different ecological phasing here progressing from left to right, from 5 years, 15 years, into 30 years. This shows how initially the native wildflower seed mix will be planted, but then as plots are filled and trees begin to grow, the forest aspect of this site will really start to take shape. With all the proposed plant materials and trees, the pathways, benches, structures, fences, and other site furnishings, the total probable cost of this green burial site came out to just over $111,000. It sounds expensive, however, given the number of proposed plots, there is definitely a lot of room for money to be made. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Take care.